What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Right Gaming Weekly News Roundup, where we talk about whatever made the most noise last week in the gaming industry. My name is Alex, and today we will quickly cover the new information we got this week for Cyberpunk 2077, the lawsuit Epic filed against Apple and Google, and the delay of Microsoft's biggest game now, Halo Infinite. So let's get right into it. We started the week with a new episode of Night City Wire. It's basically a series of live streams that CD Projekt Red are hosting leading up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, where they talk about the development process, showing new gameplay footage for Cyberpunk, and talk more extensively about the mechanisms that we will see in the game. In this episode, they started with 3 short new trailers, all showing each of the starting life paths you can choose from when you create your character. As a reminder, life paths are backgrounds that determine where your character came from and how they ended up in Night City at the beginning of the game. They will also determine starting aptitudes, starting area, and specific knowledge your character will have. What's interesting is that a developer then gave examples of how the different life paths would have influenced the walkthrough of the Maelstrom Gang mission that they showed us a while ago in one of the first gameplay reveals. The Street Kid, for example, would not have had any specific new dialogue options in this mission, but the fact that your character is street savvy would have allowed you to act more confident during the entire segment with the deal with the gang leader. While the Corpo life path would have entirely changed your encounter with the Corpos when they ambushed you prior to the mission, since you would be able to understand their motivations and be acquainted with their methods. Then they talked about the Refused band. These are the guys who were hired to write and voice the songs for Johnny Silverhand's band The Samurai. Since he is an important character and his band is a major part of his background, I guess it was a very big deal for CD Projekt to nail this entire thing with the band. More towards the end, we saw a new trailer that showed all the weapon classes that we'll have in the game. A woman by the name of Wakako Okada, probably another fixer in Night City, is briefing the player on a new mission, while we see V in his room's armory getting prepared. Now quickly about the weapon types. Tech weapons. These are a special class of weapons that use electromagnetic mechanisms to propel projectiles at enormous speeds, allowing you to shoot through walls and cover. Power weapons are a weapon type that looks most similar to modern weaponry, simple and powerful. These weapons can ricochet off of surfaces, giving you the option to surprise opponents by adjusting the trajectory of the bullets. Smart weapons are the most futuristic ones. They are equipped with guided projectile systems that allow them to shoot bullets that lock onto enemies and change trajectory to follow the target's movements. Melee weapons are quite self-explanatory. We could see some bats and sledgehammers besides the famous futuristic katana we've seen previously. CYBERWARE. This class includes all body modifications you can equip yourself with, like the mantis blades that unfold from your arms, the gorilla arms that give you super strength, or the nanowire that was showcased in a previous gameplay. And at the end they said that anyone who is hungry for more Cyberpunk lore can now buy The World of Cyberpunk 2077. It's an encyclopedia about the game and its lore made by CD Projekt Red in collaboration with Dark Horse Books. Next up, we have finally some spicy news. And who does it involve? Of course it involves Epic, Google and Apple. Who else would it? As you see, Epic announced a discount event in Fortnite called Fortnite Mega Drop. Now this event in itself is alright. All the V-Bucks you purchase will be with a 20% discount. And if you purchased any in the period between 14th of July and 13th of August, you get these 20% in the form of additional V-Bucks. But shortly after the event had started, the mobile version of Fortnite was removed from App Store and Google Play. Apple were the first to release a statement in regards to the situation. Today, Epic Games took the unfortunate step of violating the App Store guidelines that are applied equally to every developer and designed to keep the store safe for our users. Which guidelines have been violated that are apparently making the store safe for all users? Apple's 30% cut from all microtransactions in Fortnite, you see. The problem with Fortnite's mega drop is that it was not negotiated with the owners of both stores. It required setting up Epic direct payments in order to receive the 20% discount on the mobile version of Fortnite. This means that the money from the purchases of microtransactions in the game would go directly to Epic, bypassing the 30% cut that Apple and Google were supposed to receive. The suspicious part about this is that as Apple and Google gave their responses to the cheeky attempt by Epic to bypass the fee they had to pay to the stores, Epic, almost as if prepared for such a response, had attacked them with 2 lawsuits, each directed at one of the companies respectively. In these, both companies are being charged with the same things: monopoly control over the distribution of software to phones and monopoly control over payment systems within said software. Now, this is a widely known fact that Google and Apple hold monopoly over the app market. But it is funny how Fortnite is now creating a precedent to begin the fight against the monopoly these companies represent, though the situation itself is morally divisive. On one side, we have Apple and Google releasing questionable statements about "these guidelines make the store safe for all users," when clearly their only concern is that they are being denied their share of Fortnite's microtransactions. And on the other side, we have Epic, who possibly in their attempt to push for lower cuts in online stores like Steam, App Store and Google Play and increase their earnings from Fortnite, have technically created a scam to bypass the Apple Store and Google Play systems. And then, as if they were prepared, had 2 major lawsuits ready against the 2 companies based on their status as monopolies. This has the potential to enter the top 10 anime fights for 2020, mark my words. And last but not least, we have a proof that memes are a power to be reckoned with, since it looks like Craig had become a strong argument for Microsoft and 343 Industries to delay Halo Infinite. Back in July, during Xbox Games Showcase livestream, a link for my article on that in the description, we saw the world premiere gameplay for Halo Infinite. And people were not impressed. I myself wasn't too critical of the game in the graphical department. It looked good, but not next-gen good, if you know what I mean. But other people and longtime fans of the franchise were very critical, to say the least. The problem is that this game was supposed to wow people. It is the biggest gun in Xbox's arsenal right now, and it ended up looking just okay. It's the animations that are like imported from older games, the enemy units that are in their majority the same as the ones from 20 years ago, and the textures that are in places too rough around the edges for a AAA next-gen game. So people took things to Reddit and the rest of the internet and dissected every bit of these 8 minutes and 57 seconds of gameplay footage we got. The meme fest that began after that was relentless. And thus, this week, the developers, with a heavy heart, announced that the game will be delayed to an unspecified date in 2021. As reasons for the sudden decision, the developers stated the difficulties that had risen from the COVID situation and that it is not sustainable for the studio to continue working at the current pace, trying to hit the set release date window. But let's be real, it's the memes. The memes and the backlash were the real reason for the delay, since it was clear that Halo Infinite was going to be the system seller for Xbox Series X at the launch, and it is highly unlikely that Microsoft would give up on this idea so suddenly. As unfortunate as it is, that decision is a wise one, and shows that the higher-ups at Xbox are really valuing the franchise, so much that they are willing to weaken their offering at their next-gen console's release just to deliver a game that will actually be an impressive entry in this franchise. And that's it for this week. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more content like this one. This was Alex, and I'll see you next time.